So we have a huge fat sing window update here. We have a bunch of up on Wednesday. We had a bunch of games, going on, but then there's a bunch of 2v tournaments and updates, and then there was a bunch of changes. Because they pushed Minnesota Seattle as a big feature game instead of Philadelphia even areas that are just AFC teams only and stick with probably the feature game. But anyways, now we have some new updates. We have Lima, Ohio. They were supposed to show Minnesota at Seattle in the late window, and they did that because it's for Cincinnati, Cleveland in the early window. They should show Minnesota Seattle. However, they're not in the Cleveland or Cincinnati area team markets, so they do not have to show the late window game, and they are not going to. So we got Mass and Wisconsin. Mass and Wisconsin. Sometimes with Wisconsin, they typically show, if the Green Bay Packers are playing, typically show Detroit or Minnesota games. Or Chicago. But I'm surprised. But I think the reason why they're showing Philadelphia, Washington in that one is because Washington is the 6. Washington is the 7. My bad. Washington is the 7 seed, and they want to see if people want to see if they have a chance to pretty much clinch the 6 seed with a win and a Washington loss for Green Bay fans too. So if their favorite team that clinches with, so then we got Wheeling, West Virginia, which is no surprise. They moved to Philadelphia, Washington. Jackson, Tennessee. You see a little spot of Tennessee. You can see those spots of Tennessee, Knox area, and that is Philadelphia, Washington. Over in Kentucky, you can see a little spot of Kentucky there. Yep, is Philadelphia, Washington. That doesn't surprise me. And the only one that really surprises is Mass, Wisconsin. But it's not super surprising. So St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis, Missouri. Flexed along with Columbia and Cape Girardeau, Missouri. It might have been like a huge, it would flex, and they flexed back to Minnesota, Seattle in the late window. St. Louis, Missouri area did, which is a little surprising, but maybe they just wanted to stick with whatever game they were given. And then we have San Diego and Palm Springs, California. They decided they got switched to Philadelphia, Washington. However, it does not surprise me that they're switching back for the LA Rams fan base. They want to see Seattle, because it depends on what LA Rams are in the window. If you can see what Seattle does in the late window, and they can find, and you can see it, like the playoff race, how tight it is. Are they both teams the same record? So it's going to come down to the last game of the regular season, or LA Rams or Seattle, or one of those two teams going to have a one game advantage in the NFC West. I can see that, no problem. But Joplin, Missouri, you would see a little tiny bit of Missouri right there. That was Joplin right there. They were all that area that was expected to show. They were picked to show Minnesota, Seattle, I believe. Yes, they were picked to show Minnesota, Seattle to begin with. Then they went to Philadelphia, Washington, which was most of the Missouri areas. weren't showing. We're showing Minnesota Seal. They got moved They got moved as a whole to Philadelphia, Washington, except the ones that were showing on Chicago. Or like on Illinois ones that were in Illinois, they got moved, or Missouri and Illinois duo, they got moved to Chicago. And then you got St. Louis, Missouri and Joplin, Missouri. It doesn't really matter for Joplin, Missouri too much. I mean, maybe people want to watch a certain game, but it doesn't really matter for that too much. St. Louis, Missouri, though, I'm surprised they're not doing Detroit, Chicago anymore, but I mean, it's kind of surprising. I would think with a duo station that serves like two areas, like maybe if Kansas City was playing St. Louis, okay, sure, you show that game. But if they're not playing, maybe you show Detroit, Chicago. That's what I would think. As a secondary affiliation would be like Chicago games. Would be the second affiliation. It would be a secondary affiliation for the station. So yeah, there's been a lot of steep updates here for the Fox single window. There's been some like ones that have been like done in bulk, you can see, and some of them are either switching based on like people, like maybe like either it's like their own viewers in the TV markets. They're saying like, hey, can we get this game on instead? Maybe. Or some of them are moving to an actual more competitive game. More game that would more interest them in like rooting areas or something like that. So, I can see that. And some are like, So who knows? It's just a big mess. And I would not be surprised if we have other updates here in the Fox signal window, either today or tomorrow. Because this Fox signal window is just crazy the amount of movement there is. I mean, you could still Lexington, Dane, Columbus. Wow, they could still move. You could still Huntsville, Montgomery, Alabama. Could still move. Because they're not in immediate team market, though. You could still have Vermont, maybe. Burlington, Vermont, I believe. They could still move, but there might be a few areas that could move, like some parts of Wisconsin could still move out of that game. That don't get like a Minnesota station, but we'll see.